Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Trouble Free. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how you should present your paper in your semester exam so that you can get good marks. See, I don't say that these are the ultimate tips which should get you 90% of the marks or 100% of the marks, but I'll just give you some suggestions what I got to know out of my 4 years of BTech experience. So I'll just tell you what are the simple tips that you need to follow while you're presenting your paper so that will give you an add-on to your marks. So in some cases what happens, even if you're not perfect with the answer also, if your presentation skills are good, if you're writing the answer really in a very beautiful way, then you will be getting marks even though the answer which you have written is wrong or it is inappropriate to the question. Okay, so I don't say that always do the same thing. If you know the question perfectly, write whatever you know for that. If you don't know, just write something for that. Don't leave the paper empty and come back. Okay, so first thing I want to tell you is, as soon as they give you the paper, right, first check your details. So what we people will think, obviously the details will be correct. Why should we check? Are we small kids? So like that you will think. Don't think like that. First check your details once. Okay, once checking of your details is done, then draw margins to all the pages in your answer script. So for us, since I'm from an autonomous college, in our college they give us answer script of 20 papers and additionals they'll be giving. So additionals obviously they'll be giving as per your requirement. First itself they'll not give additionals, right? So first when they give you the booklet, make sure that you will draw margins in all the papers. Obviously one side margins will be there, the other side itself you need to draw the margins, right? So draw margins to all the papers. And second tip I want to tell you is, so as soon as you get your answer script, you'll be getting your answer script first, right? Question paper later you'll get. So as soon as you get the answer script, on the last page of the answer script, take a pencil and write off all the confusing points or confusing formulas or any graphs or any side heading. Suppose for example, let us take the subject of software engineering. So in software engineering or in management sciences, we will have lots and lots of side headings. It is all about how well you can remember all those side headings, right? So sometimes what happens, you may forget them. So out of that tension that you'll forget them, you may not be able to write the other answers also. So turn to the last page. Whether you're getting that in the question paper or not, you are not concerned about it. Write on all the points that you remember. Okay, all the things that you remember, just in the shortcut with pencil you write, so that in the last you can erase them. Okay, all the points, formulas or graphs or derivations, whatever is confusing part for you, write down all of them. Done. Now after that what you have to do is, okay, and before that what you have to do is, you need to go to exam hall on time first of all. So many of us will go to class irregularly, or after 10 minutes late or after 15 minutes late, like that we will go, right? So at least for exam, let's go on time. Just go on time, sit there, and as soon as you get your question paper, read all the questions first. Read the entire question paper for at least 2 or 3 minutes. Just don't look at the first question and start writing. Okay, so entire question paper you should read at least for one time. So after reading for one time, if you're getting idea of what are there in the question paper, then that's okay. If you're not able to get idea, if you're not able to figure it out from which topic or from which chapter the question is, read it again. So if you read it for 2 or 3 times, you'll definitely able to remember something or the other. Okay, done. So when you're starting the first question, suppose the first question you don't know, then don't start the question which you don't know and don't make it a big mess. Okay, so whatever questions you know perfectly, we'll start with that question first, so that the at least starting 2 to 3 papers or starting 3 to 5 papers will be very neat, right? Very confident and very neat they will be. If you don't know any question, no, you write something, you'll go from somewhere, you'll go to somewhere, and also you'll strike off the answer. So many problems will be there if you start a question or the answer which you are not perfect in. But if you start writing a question in which you are perfect in, you will first write it off. Done. Then at least first 3 to 4 papers of your answer script will be neat. So because of that, the examiner will get a good impression, right? So it is very important to get a good impression near the examiner. The first impression is the best impression, they say, right? So then the examiner will get a good impression. Okay, this person knows something. And then even handwriting also, if you are a person who is having bad handwriting, then try to make it better. If you are a person who is having better handwriting, try to make it good. If you are a person with good, make it best. In the exam only, in the records, in the notes, it's your wish. But in the exam, you should write very neatly. Write at least the first 3 to 4 papers, you should write very neatly and very patiently also you have to write. Okay, and whenever you're writing the question numbers, you have to mandatorily write it. If it is having A and B, write A. If it's suppose second question, A, you're writing. So 2A you have to write, 2B, 2C, like that. How many subdivisions are there? All those numbers you should write. Okay. And next thing, question number you should not write inside the margin. Outside the margin only you have to write the question number. Even 2A also write it outside the margin only, right? And another thing, should we write point wise or should we write in paragraphs? According to me, writing in point wise is better. So first in the question, suppose they asked you to explain you something about something. So and so algorithm or so and so theory follows. You have to write the sentence first and then go according to the points. Even if you don't give numbers to the points, give some arrow marks or bullets or stars or whatever representation you want, you can give, but write it in points. So I prefer to go with points instead of paragraph. You know, paragraph, even you won't feel like writing, and even the correction, the person who does the correction also will feel it more interesting, will feel it more good if you write it in point wise. So some of them ask me in comment section for MEFA and also for machine learning videos, should we write in point wise or should we write in paragraphs? Always it is better that you write in point wise. And one more advantage of writing in point wise, shall I tell you? Suppose you started writing a sentence. So you have written the entire first line and you came to the second line. In second line you have just written 2 words and the sentence came to end. Then you can leave that entire line, right, and you can come down. So in that way more space also it will consume. That is, it will look like you have written so much, right, if you go with point wise. So always go with point wise instead of going with paragraph. And another thing, if you know or you don't know or whatever it is, fill up all the pages and come. See, in my 4 years of engineering, maximum of all the exams, almost I have written 6 8s or 48 exams I have written, keeping external exams apart. No, not 6 8s or 48 minus 3, 45, since only 3 subjects in last semester, so 45, around 45 semester exams I have written, right? So out of all those exams, I think I've only maybe 2 or 3 exams are there in which I have not written till the last page. Okay, so it is very important that you have to write till the last page, till the end you have to write. If possible, take additionals also. But I have never taken additionals because my handwriting is very small. It is very, precise and all. For me, writing till 20th page itself is a big challenge. So I have never taken additionals. Even for M1, M2 also I did not take additionals. So if you want to take additionals, okay. But if suppose 26 pages or 20 pages are given in your answer script, try to fill up all those pages. And filling up all those pages, I'm not able to manage the time, I'm not having enough time to fill up all those pages. Then see, if there are any questions which has graph or which has flow charts or diagrams or anything like that, you have to definitely attempt them, you have to definitely draw them. Don't be lazy. Initially, in my first year, second year, I was very lazy. I used to not draw diagrams, I used to not draw flowcharts and all. So, but after coming to third year and fourth year, when I became lazy for studying, in first and second year, I was lazy for writing exams. In third and fourth year, I became lazy for studying. So then I started learning diagrams, flowcharts and all, because they take up a lot of space. And even the examiner also feels like, okay, this person has drawn a diagram or draw a flowchart or a graph. Okay, this person knows something apart from all theory and all, right? And one more thing, should we use blue pen and black pen and any other color pens? If you are having doubt, use blue pen and black pen, but don't use any other colors. And don't only write with blue pen or don't only write with black pen. And there are some people who are having sentiment for black, we don't use black, then that's okay, write with blue pen. And if you're writing some headings, then just underline them with pencil and like that. So you should show them some differentiation between headings and between the actual content. Okay, and don't draw diagrams with pen like how we do in notes. Okay, of course you'll follow those basic things, but there are some people who will not even follow these basic things, right? And one more thing, attempt all the questions. Even if you don't know also, attempt all the questions, because see, something you are writing, right? So the invigilator may feel, not invigilator, the examiner may feel like, okay, this person has written something, he or she has put some efforts, so at least for that efforts we should give marks, they will feel. So of course there are some people who will not even give marks even if you write correctly also, but still if your luck is good and the examiner's mood is good, then in that case you have a chance of getting good marks, right? And one more thing, there are some people, if the exam is for 3 hours, they leave the exam hall at the end of 2 hours. As soon as 2 hours are done, they'll give the paper, or 1.5 hours, they'll give the paper to the invigilator and they leave the exam hall. Don't leave like that. Sit till the last. Even if you don't know also, sit till the last. Why? Because see, 2 things I'll tell you why you have to sit till the last. First thing is you may remember something when you're sitting till the last. And second thing is, some of the invigilators, to be frank, they become very loose. They leave the exam hall in the last 30 minutes or last 20 minutes or last 10 minutes. So in that case, what happens, you can just ask your friends and write, right? So I know that's wrong, but still you have some chance over there, at least not the entire answer. You can just get a hint from your friend, right? So don't leave the exam hall until your exam time is completed. It may be for 2 hours or 3 hours or 2.5 hours, whatever it is. Make sure that you will sit till the last. Okay, don't leave as you're having some work. We don't have any work after like leaving the exam hall, right? So make sure that you will sit till the end. And the last thing I want to tell you is, if you're getting a question or if you some question in the paper you don't know, right, but you want to attempt it somehow because you want to pass or you want to get good marks, or you will not feel satisfied if you don't attempt all the questions, right? In that case, what you have to do, you have to first identify from which lesson that question is. So in our college, the question paper will be like, first we'll have short questions and then we'll have long questions. In the first short questions we'll get 5, and 5 will be from 5 units. Everything will be in the order. And even in the next 10 marks questions also, long questions also, they'll give unit 1 2 questions, unit 2 2 questions, like that they'll give. But I've seen some college papers where they don't give the unit names and questions are jumbled. So in that case, what you have to do, in that case only, you have to read the question paper for 2 to 3 times. Then you'll get an idea from which topic or from which chapter this question is. Then write something related to that chapter or something related to that question. Suppose if there is a very big theory or very big concept, like let us take decision tree algorithm. So in decision tree algorithm, we have many parts, right? So they asked you about constructing a decision tree, but you don't know how to construct a decision tree, but you know how to calculate the entropy, information gain and all. So at least write that. Even if you don't know how to construct a tree, at least write that and come. And if they are asking you to explain about the information gain or something, if you don't know this, at least decision tree you have to draw and come. So for example, I'm telling you, if you don't know what exactly is asked in the question, write something related to that and come, but don't leave the question paper empty. Okay, don't leave any pages. You should write till the end of the last page in your answer script. Okay, you should attempt all the questions. So yeah, that's all. And one thing, if flowcharts, diagrams, graphs, you should be very 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 interested towards these kind of things. Why? Because if you are a person with bad handwriting, they'll help you, because there is no handwriting checked over there, right? And if you're a person who writes very slowly, they will help you. They will take up a lot of space, they will save a lot of time for you. So don't leave those kind diagrams, in the sense we will not have any very complicated biology diagrams, right? Some graphs or some boxes, maximum they will only be there, some diagrams, or what do you say, in for triple E students they have circuit diagrams, like that. So not very complicated diagrams will not have, right, obviously. So make sure that you will answer each and every question. If there are any diagrams or flowchart, give more importance to them and sit in the exam hall till the last, and draw margins to each and every paper. Draw single line, that is enough. And even after completion of each and every answer also draw a line. And one more thing, if you are starting a new answer, make sure that you start it in the new page. Okay, that is always suggested, whether it may be a 5 marks answer or whether it may be a 10 marks answer. If it is a 2 mark answer, then you should not start it in new page. It looks very ugly, right? So if it is a 5 marks answer or if it is a 10 marks answer, in this page, suppose you have written till 3/4, or not even 3/4, or between somewhere between half and 3/4, then you can leave this and you can start the next answer in the next page freshly. Okay, so, and one more thing, don't be in a mood that you need to answer all the questions in an order. It works even if you don't answer all the questions in order. The important thing is you need to answer all the questions. You need to fill up all the pages in the question in the answer script. And you should sit in the exam hall till the last minute, till the last second, until and unless your invigilator takes the question paper from you. Okay, done. So these are the things that I want to share with you, and I hope this would be useful. And I think whatever maybe I've said those things itself, but still I think at least some people will get benefited by this video. And thanks for watching the video till the end. And that's all for this video. If you want me to make any other videos or any other topics, just let me know that in the comment section. I'll definitely try to make it for sure for you people. And let's meet up in the next coming video with another topic. And also let me know how you feel about this video in the comment section. I'll be very happy to take feedback from you people. And thanks for watching the video till the end. And thanks for constantly supporting me.